They go from just shy of 5,000 for Game 3 up to over 17,000 here tonight. Seats are optional right now as Tatum fires a three. It's like going out and shooting 63, right, in golf. You know, you may shoot par next day. It feels like you got run over, but...
To Jason, being back at TD Garden is perfect. Perfect formula to be able to tie this series up.
Get it to Tatum. He checks the clock. Makes the move on Griffin. Floater.
Holding off Tristan Thompson. Looks like more of a focus as Harden comes up short. Boston out to a great start. -2 key players. Fournier fires. And there's Thompson, offensive rebound. Thompson goes up. A battle for it. What great defense by Harden and Durant. A lot of talk about Brooklyn's defense as Kevin Durant knocks a mid-range jumper down.
At least 7 offensive rebounds. Not the case early. Attention to detail. Protect the glass and jam it right there out of the blunt of the force for the Celtics.
Boston was +9 in rebounds in their Game 3 victory. Here's Ojale going strong and Claxton right there to deny him. He's missed a lot of time himself with knee injuries. Second-year player out of Georgia could be a factor defensively as James Harden forced the steal, turnover Brooklyn, and Pritchard gives it right back. He thought he was fouled. Here's Joe Harris. Brooklyn would love to get him going a little bit.
Yep.
On a cut to the basket, Harden throws it down. James Harden on a rim run. That 11-3 Nets run, Harden with 5 of those 11. Took just 1 field goal attempt in the first quarter. Knocked down a couple of free throws in the first, and he finds Joe Harris. This time difficult when they're playing good defense. They've had their problems this year defensively. Harden gets right by Fournier to a strong hand, scores with the left.
But that's why James Harden took his time patiently and then able to waltz right down and get an easy layup.
Here goes Harden. Little sidestep, gets right by Thompson. Harden again to the basket. Brooklyn has not missed in this quarter. Tatum kicks it. Langford on the take. Langford hangs. He is fouled.
That's the challenge with Boston.
Waves of weapons on the other end for the Nets. Brown, and Brown scores it.
For them, it's trying to get to an Eastern Conference championship and also to a championship period. So
Harden again finds Irving. Late clock here. Got to put one up. Three-pointer on its way and good. Kyrie Irving with 15 now as a member of the Orlando Magic. Now Fournier trying to check James Harden. Harden goes to the right hand this time. Finishes with a left hand. But Kyrie Irving, and the way he handles the ball is off the charts as Harden misses a three. Tatum up ahead. Grant Williams didn't have his head up, and Tatum throws it out of bounds.
Get a shot in that situation.
Boston led by 1 after 1 quarter, 34-33. And long range hit.
Yep, Celtics, you want to keep this in shouting distance, see if you can get this lead. Again, another straight line drive. I was going to say below double digit.
Langford switches on to him. He's a good defender, but a young player. Irving flashes to the middle. Irving rises up off the window over Grant Williams. Little over 5 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock. Harden goes to work. Fournier's on him, shakes him. Harden scores.
He ain't shake him.
21 points now on 8 of 12 shooting. 60 points on the board for Boston, and that's going to be a foul as Smart is aggressive. Harden, long step back three, no good. There's Thompson with a rebound.
Well,
what are your expectations in the playoffs?
I'm going to give you this. The 2000-2001 Los Angeles Lakers, they were like 22nd and see Joe Harris knock in a three in their defensive rating.
Well, Brooklyn has been able to take this big crowd right out of it. They were roaring early, 17,000 plus, and Harden turns it over. 84-68. Harden draws a double, and Thompson got a hand on that. Push it ahead. Romeo Langford, numbers here.
Jordan have more minutes, be more critical. A critical part to the Brooklyn in particular on the defensive end. You see KD pull up for another. He can play. I've had it before and still can manage my way to get on the court. But when it's bad, bro, that's all you can do is rest. Yeah. You know, the interesting part, too, is that, you know, fortunately for Brooklyn, not having his services doesn't impact it the same. Is going to be huge in regards to having more size to be able to battle against the size of Milwaukee. Just scratching the surface on how great he is ultimately going to become.
Brown inside on a dish from Durant. Bruce Brown scores. Who is sitting at 83.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Celtics don't have a lot of offensive weaponry with weapons without Jaylen Brown, of course, and Kemba not on the court. You know, for years, it was like 6 years in a row? I think James Harden led the league in free throw attempts until this year. His are down this year because his role has changed, you know, a little bit here in Brooklyn.
Kyrie Irving made 29 field goal attempts, only missed 12 in those 2 quarters, the second and third. Irving is just sending silencer after silencer up. Not one, but 2 ACL injuries back to back. He's still only 26 years of age, Jabari Parker.
And James Harden, speaking of that. Yeah, great points there, Jared. And again, losing, not only losing, but how you lose. And then in the last game, see a great defensive play that time by James Harden. Losing, not only losing, but how you lose. And then in the last game, see a great defensive play that time by James Harden, gives it back up. See if Boston can score the ball.
Parker trying to check Harden. He gives it up. That's Durant in the corner. Got it.
I mean, just when you make a little run, but that's just James Harden plays with it, pats it a little bit, and just kicks it to Durant. They're going to foul, but it's the unnecessary mental error fouls that we got to eliminate.
Durant once again.
We're going to foul, but it's the unnecessary mental error fouls that we got to eliminate.
Durant once again. Nets are up 21 at the end of the quarter. That's a nice feed. Parker, and he gets his own and finishes it off. 10 games with the Celtics before these playoffs began. Brown, that same play was Durant a couple of times. This time it's Harden who feeds Brown. He has been on a run of 50-plus point games here recently in the last 6 weeks. Tatum can't get it to go. Brown to Harden. Harden with a rebound. I'll show you after these shots that he believes he's getting fouled on these shot attempts. Nesmith falls down trying to draw a charge. An easy basket for Brown. Tatum flying high for the rejection. Nesmith just hit that three-pointer, and now Harden knocks it out of the hands of Tatum. Pritchard with it, trying to earn a little bit, right? They've been waiting so long to. First game they've had a capacity crowd.
It's Tim Hardaway Jr., Jalen Brunson. It's Dorian Finney-Smith. Those guys ultimately put the dagger in the coffin for the Clippers.
All logging big minutes here. Durant, Irving, Harden all playing 38 minutes. Bodies on the floor. And Brown, that play has worked all night long. They scored 130 in game 2 in a blowout. And they got 137 and counting right now as Tatum with the steal. Tatum will go to the basket, taking on Harden, and he is fouled. They scored 130 in game 2 in a blowout. And they got 137 and counting right now as Tatum with the steal. Tatum will go to the basket, taking on Harden, and he is fouled. Good stuff, and that'll be coming up. Mavericks Clippers coming up after us. Taco Fall in the game.
A lot of those records come out, and Jerry West is a scoring machine.
Oh, Harden just missed what could have been an NBA record of 30 free throws without a miss.